Hi, everyone. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother. Uh, I'm Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm 1974 Enlightened Soul. And today I'm going to talk about the solar eclipse and the experience that I had watching it. Okay. First off, okay. Yes. Okay. I'm being told because last time I was live, I was asked what my channel was about. So I'm going to go on and oh shoot. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go on and I'm going to read my description, and then that way people can get a better understanding, because sometimes it can seem like a massive roller coaster. And that's okay, because that's what I'm here for. Oh shit, shoot. Dice me, I'm just trying. I can't even find my home. Not very tech savvy, but it is what it is, right? Okay. This is the description for my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self. Hi, everyone. I'm Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I am here to wake people up to see how we've been treating each other and our earth. I am a unique type of spirit guide. I am a psychic, a medium, a channeler, a telepath, and an empath. I also speak and sign different languages, all of which can be intense at times because I'm channeling spirit all the time. On my channel, I talk about everyday life, the ignorance, greed, the hatred, etc. I do it to get people to look within themselves and how we have been acting in life towards ourselves and others, including animals. Some people may not like what I have to say, whereas others may totally understand. Sometimes I may not come off a very spiritual person. However, I ask you to look within and see what spirituality really means. It means the enlightenment, waking up to the truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly stuff that we don't like to see about ourselves, about the world, and others. Sometimes we need a little tough love to be able to look within ourselves. I am the inner conscience. Spirit, basically. I just heard somebody say, so you're saying you're God. Well, what I'm saying is we are all part of spirit. We are all part of God. And if you don't like what I have to say, well, my channel's not for everybody. Not being ignorant, not being rude, but it is what it is. I went through my experiences to understand the connection between the oneness, between the connection with spirit. I did a video yesterday or the day before that, with regards to self-consciousness and spirit consciousness. If you want to understand that, go and check it out, because I am connected with not only self-consciousness, but also spirit consciousness. And that's why I'm constantly channeling. And this is the stuff that Yeshua was trying to teach everyone. But it all got mistranslated, miscued, and misinterpreted, and it got manipulated. And if, like I said, you don't like what I'm saying, well, maybe my channel's not for you. But this is my belief. This is what I've interpreted from it, and it has nothing to do with me going and reading the Bible. It's by doing my own inner work, the inner work that Yeshua had to do for himself in order to master himself. He did not say he was God. He said, be like him. Okay. And I was at church the other day, and the pastor there said about God, about Yeshua saying to be like him. But yet everybody contradicts it and says, oh, no, it's not that at all. Oh, yes, it is. So, like, if you're a person of the church, okay, I'm going to actually read something with regards to it. But first, we're going to start off with showing you the eclipse, okay? Because I did record it, yes, because the eclipse actually directed me into like diving deeper into this because there's so much conflict with regards to spiritual beliefs, whether it be religious, as people put it, or whether it be a different spiritual aspect of it where you are actually connected with the earth, with the mother, okay? Because we're actually connecting with mother, father, the masculine, feminine, because God is neither male nor female, whether people want to believe that it's male. That is a misconception of who or what God is. And Yeshua did not personally say about the Father because Yeshua was able to center himself and be both masculine and feminine, loving and more justice, like getting out there and spreading truth, saying, hey, it's not about the aggression, it's not about the assertiveness, it's making a point. And sometimes, in order to make a point, you have to come off as a bitch or an asshole. And I'm very expressive, yes. I watched the solar eclipse and they say, oh, well, you got to wear these glasses. Where are they? These, okay? These things here, okay? They were $4 friggin'. Somebody just said you're supposed to wear them during the eclipse. Well, I didn't. And I stare at the sun every friggin' day and I'm not gone blind. You do see spots when you're not used to looking at the sun. Of course you're going to see spots. But you go to an eye doctor and they stick that friggin' light right up to your damn eye. Aren't you seeing spots? Like, holy shit, man. Plus, if you really look at these glasses, okay, it feels like the material that they use for when we were younger, okay? You have these 3D glasses and they had colors on them. It feels the same, okay? But I'm going to tell you, I put them on and I couldn't see anything, okay? Not only that, if you really look at them, to me, it very much resembles the tint that you put on your freaking car windows or what have you, okay? Well, that's your opinion, but it's a misconception. I stare into the sun all the time. No, actually, it's not why I'm wearing glasses. Because after I take my glasses off and I stare into the sun, I can actually see better. It's when I'm looking on electronics that I can't see worth shit because it's fake lighting. It's the blinding light. I know other people that stare into the sun. No, I actually stare. I lock eyes and I suck it in. And that's when you're bringing in the light. You're bringing in the light codes. You're bringing in everything. Don't look at if you're afraid of going blind because you're staring at the sun, well, then don't stare at the sun. But because somebody else is doing it, don't you think that it is okay to tell somebody else not to stare at the sun because that's their decision. Well, good for it. Science is always challenged, it is not. Science changes from one second to the next. It changes more often when people change their underwear. So that's your opinion, and I have my experience. So if you want to go by reading a book and the program and the narrative, well, that's entirely up to yourself, and I'm not being rude. Well, there's a lot of people waking up and realizing that there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of myths happening right now. And the eclipse, it was beautiful. couldn't see anything with those glasses on. But when I took the glasses off, and I know many other people that did, because this stuff, those glasses, you think about how much profit they made from these. When I went to school and we were taught about seeing eclipse, you take a piece of paper, you stick a pinhole in it, and you watch it. So you believe how you believe. I believe how I believe. You want to believe everything that there's a lot of stuff that's coming through the surface that's saying it's a lot of bullshit. Because, like I said, science changes. And they're starting to realize more and more things. Go look up about Bruce Lipton, Dolores Cannon, many others. The scientists that aren't recognized because they're not paid by your fucking government. Here is the eclipse. That's my recording, yes. And it was awesome. And that light coming up there, I later found out that that's Venus. And in order to, like, until it went right over, like, I had to take and zoom right in, as you can see. That's zoomed out. It's just like the sun. Is it not? And then you zoom in, and if you watch it closely, you will actually see, sorry about that light, you will actually see that image of the eclipse is see-through, and it's moving. You can actually see the clouds through that. Okay, so it was very cool, and I enjoyed looking at it. Well, like I said, that's how you look at it, but that's not how I look at it. I guess if I go blind, that's on me, isn't it? So worry about yourself. Don't be concerned with others. Be worried about you, and if you have kids, be concerned with them. Just mind your business about what other people do when it comes to something like that, because you're not going to go blind. You might see spots for a bit because your eyes aren't used to it, but the sun is actually healing. And when they say about burning, that's because of all the fucking chemicals you put on and in your body. There's your science. Not being rude, just stating the obvious. So that was the eclipse. Okay. Now, it caused me because back years ago, I actually drew some psychic pictures. I was actually sitting on the bed. I was in it was this after I died, and I went to another province to get medical treatment. And I was sitting on the bed, and all of a sudden I took my pen and I took a piece of paper and I started drawing. What I started drawing was I started with the eyes, and then I went from there. And this is what I ended up with. And I took it somewhere, and they says like the apocalypse. Yeah, it's very the words in it. Well, at the top, it has the heart, which represents the crown of hearts, which we're in the love, right? We're finding the love. Yeshua was bringing the love. He was trying to explain how to go within and find love for yourself so that you can find love for others. The eyes, zoology, which is everything, the ears, the like they always say, see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Okay. This actually looks like a person either like it's almost like they're turned inside out or their skin has been peeled off. And then Terra represents Earth, which also said as Gaia, and it has different names. Then the love me now, the Earth is saying, love me now. So we're destroying the Earth, we're tearing it apart. And then we're blaming the sun. We're blaming climate change. We're the fucking climate change because we're tearing it apart. We're wrecking it. The sun is. We're stripping it. And it's greed and ignorance. Okay. And then we're always hearing about the 666. Okay. And if you look up the angel number of the 666, it's more or less like almost like a new beginning or what have you, change. Okay. And people say 666 is demonic. Well, they represent the 666 the church. Okay. Because the church, the giant is over top of the church. And then you have the two cocks, which are the male ego, the ego aspect. Okay. So it's that right now we're in what kind of appears to be like a man's law. And if you look right along the side here, I have a woman in a dress. Okay. I have a feminine energy right there. Okay. And down below that, it said ugly because there's a law right now where we're considered to be dirty. Women are dirty. Women are blamed. Well, feminine energies are blamed for almost everything, and the feminine energies are coming back. Okay. And masculine energies, in some cases, don't like it, but that's the part of where we're embodying both masculine and feminine. I've already met Yeshua. So if you're going to come in here and you're going to try to sling the Bible on me and you're going to try to sling your religion on me, I say thank you for coming in, but I'm not interested because I've already found God. And I didn't have to go and listen to people spiel about how one religion did this to them and another religion did that to them because every religion did it to each other. So I have to ask you, would you like to meet your Lord Jesus Christ or Yeshua or what have you? Have you? Well, good. I hope you found him the right way. But don't go slinging stuff and asking people. If you want to tell people how to get there, then you might want to tell them the right way. Because the right way is going within yourself and looking at your own fucking demons. Your own stuff. Not pointing at somebody else and saying, oh, you're a sinner. Oh, you're going to hell. Because that's what I see teaching. We're told we're going to hell, oh, the devil and everything like that. We're the fucking devils. We're the heaven. We're the hell. But nobody wants to believe that. Yes, we are up against evil, like really nasty stuff, but we've created it, but nobody wants to take blame for creating it. And that's what this is. This is exposing. This is the apocalypse being exposed. And here it is. In writing. Break the sire. Desire is the father of the pain. Wait, what? What are you asking? Wait, what? Dice que lo te tay. I don't throw shade on religion because every religion has its story, but it's actually telling the same story more over and over. I don't, we made, you're saying we made them. What are you asking? We made the evil? Yes, we did. We created it through ourselves, through greed and ignorance, through programming. That's how we created it. And the true sins are actually the systems integrated into society. And we're left feeling we have to follow them, but you don't empower yourself. That's what Yeshua was telling people. Empower yourself. Be a master. Master your own self. Because the only way you're really going to be able to help anyone is by showing that you've mastered it. You've allowed your experiences to no longer be a burden or be that thing that gets in the way because we're being told that we have to go find somebody else to help us, which Christ is right inside of you because it's called Christ consciousness. Everything gets so misinterpreted and they like to play on words and they use Christian. Well, to me, Christian, and like I know there's a lot going on with that, but it all gets miscued because it's actually Christ consciousness. And the teachings get all messed up. I had somebody like say, like the Kundalini, the going within self and clearing and what have you, bringing yourself to your higher being, which is the higher being is the connection between you and spirit, you and God, you and creator, you and mother, father, you and source, or what have you. That's what it is. The center. You see the mother doing this. It's the center. And by getting there, it's the meditation. It's activating the Kundalini. And some say, oh, well, that's evil. Why is it evil? Because it empowers you. You do. You can. Like when you're opening the chakras, when you're opening the Kundalini, you can have some very fucked up experiences. And I'm not putting it lightly. It's realizing what you're going through. It's actually finding somebody that you can talk to that has gone through the experiences, that has overcome it, and understands what it is that they were experiencing and what you continue to experience. But that's the part of being with self and looking at yourself and understanding things that way. And the eclipse coming just kind of verified that more for me, because I had a conversation with a few people, because like the medical community, it's always mental health. Well, we have mental health right now because we are in the shakeup. We are in the awakening, and it started in 2020. If you look on the date, where is it? February 8th, 2020. That's when I drew this. Yeah, fuck. And this here, when I started doing this and I was doing the research because I had this and stuff like that, I actually had a very scary experience where it was a spirit realm, a darker spirit realm. And there was a being in my house. I couldn't see it in the physical part in front of me, but when I looked in my mirror, I could see it. And I thought, well, there's no freaking way. The way that the way that it was set, the way my mirror was setting, there was no way I could see my couch. But I seen a being. It was probably about, if it stood up, it would have been about 10, 10 feet, maybe 11 feet. It was very big. And then the one on the other end was very, like, go about 6'6", maybe a little bit taller if they stood up, but they were very big and Mongolian like. And then the Terra represents Earth, and you love the Earth now. The face represents God of all, the zoology, everything, the entirety of spirit. The giant represents big business, box stores. The, the cocks are like the ego. They stand guard. It's like, oh, oh, we're going to stand guard while our people are wearing the crowns and the jewels and going into these big fancy buildings and say, oh, you must worship us because we are the saviors. We are going to say, you're going to save yourself. And other people are that already know how to do that and get you there are going to help. And that's what Yeshua was trying to do. Not looking for followers, but trying to teach people how to be a leader of their self, of their own mastery, becoming one with spirit, one with God. And the eclipse, it's a lot of people. I watched on TikTok and different things. A lot of people were saying, oh, this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and this is going to happen. A lot of it was fear-based. Maybe there was stuff going on, but a lot of it was fear-based to get people fighting and bickering with one another to keep the focus on something else opposed to themselves and the real teachings, the real enlightenment, the real freedom. Because the freedom comes from within you, which produces you to change. When you change, then you show the world a change. And some people aren't ready for it right now. But they'll come when it's time. When they see you making the change, don't let them kick you down. You go down, get back up again. We rise, you know. Okay? And the ants, if you look, I got an ant person. Okay? The ants, they represent us, the workers, slaves. Okay? And then you get the freaking locusts. I even had a vision where I was sitting in a freaking car and I looked, sitting in the car, and I looked up in the sky, and it was like there was this person up about 8 stories standing in a cloud that had a cloak on, and they had the staff and what have you. There's a lot of different conceptions of what Yeshua looks like. A God, the Spirit, Christ can come in any form. Okay? When you're standing in front of them, of someone, you never know if you're standing in front of God, Christ, the Christ consciousness. Because they say, Christ sees all, God sees all, what have you, the all-seeing eye, the pineal gland, the third eye that you see, the eye of Horus, what have you, however you refer to it. Okay? So the ants would be us. Well, you know what? We need to turn into, like we're the piss ants, okay? But we need to turn into fucking fire ants and say, you know, you burned us long enough. Now we're going to come and we're going to sting you. That's the part of bringing things out of the darkness into the light. Clear your throat chakra. Open your heart and understand. Open your mind to other beliefs. like really like come out of that box. It's like we got blinders on. It's like they say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. You're walking in the dark in that sense. See it. Put it in the light that it doesn't want to be in. It wants to be in spotlight, but it wants to be in a spotlight where it's like, oh, see me shaking this person. Oh, I'm going to kiss a baby. Right? That's not for the people. That's for popularity. That's for trying to make themselves look good. Idolize me, but don't. Because if you're looking for God, if you're looking for Christ, if you're looking for Yeshua, however you refer, but the name was actually Yeshua, if you're looking for that consciousness, then look in here. Because that's where it's at. Because it's putting out there to touch people's hearts, to find forgiveness, find the caring, the loving, the helping, the sharing, the working together, the community. Church was supposed to be about community. And churches wonder why. They say, oh, well, nobody comes anymore. I wonder why. You're saying that, oh, you got to give us your money so you can get to God. If you want to help someone, help them directly. That way you know that they are getting it. I've seen people have to beg for help from the church. I've heard and seen people who got treated like a piece of shit, me included, on more than one occasion from a church. I went for spiritual guidance and they told me go see a psychiatrist. But yet it's in the Bible that Jesus was casting demons out of people. Are you like, holy shit, man? Seriously. If you're getting this and you're getting irate with me, maybe it's hitting that nerve. If I'm pissing you off, maybe I'm hitting that nerve. But that's the shaking. That's saying, wake the fuck up. I had to be shaken. I was literally told that you're doing it to yourself, which I understand that concept now because I was too worried about what other people thought of me that I suppressed my higher being. Some people still, like, especially in the church, they think that you should suppress yourself, but they'll preach about tongues in the fucking from the Bible. They'll teach about it. But yet you go in there and you become that and you speak it, you're demonic. So anybody who comes in here to try to teach me about God, I already know about God. I found God. And if I'm pissed off, it's not me, it's spirit. Because spirit has had enough of this bullshit. The hearts represent the love, the crown. Okay? Crown around here. Okay? Yeshua. They said the vines, what have you. The thorns, what have you. Okay, but it's to be hearts. It's to love. This is the crown. This is your higher being. Ears for hearing. And I had, well, I'll get to that in a sec. Because I'm not throwing shade, but man's law was, people's not going to like me saying this because of their religious beliefs or what have you, but it was like a man's law. And it was like, yes, I'm getting the words career law. Okay. And a lot of it was like that the women were to be covered up. And they were like, and it's nobody else was to be looking at them. Well, I'm here to say that Everyone is supposed to be in control of themselves. It shouldn't matter how someone appearance looks in that sense. No, they don't look like whores. It's just your perception. Why don't you go back time and have a gander how they dress then? Have a gander at freaking tribes that women go around with no tops on. We were born naked. And I don't care who thinks that's very light. You're not very light by having that opinion. You're actually extremely judgmental and know nothing about the body, and you must be ashamed of your own if you got to tell somebody else that they should be ashamed of theirs. So the eyes are for seeing, okay? Because it was like I showed the picture right here where it's had the woman and ugly uncut. Okay, eyes are for seeing. We see it. But they want to put blinders on us. They want to put these on us. Have things that the computer screens. I had the blue, they were going to put the blue UV thing on. And I said, no. Because the car lights are more damaging to the eyes than the sun ever will be. You know, hence the sun. The sun gives life. Bird, okay? The bird, if you look right there, okay, the bird, the center, like the eagle, the all-seeing eye, the eye in the sky, the sky, we are the universe. And others don't want to understand that. Look at your eyes and then look at a picture of how they depict the universe. The eye, the soul, the universe is like the soul. You're seeing that essence. You're seeing the fulfillment or you're seeing the emptiness. Well, blah, blah, blah yourself. Nice to see you. To see you, Toy. And then the angels. Okay, this would be the angels here. Okay? The people, the old souls, the ones that keep coming back to help. Creeds. These would be the creeds. It's the zoology. It's the animals. It's the integration of everything. Okay? And then when I died and I went and I seen a vision and I look out, and if you look through the eye, third eye, the God's eye, you actually see what you want for yourself. You see beyond a veil. You see beyond a limited belief. You see beyond a program. Yes, I communicate with animals. I actually was communicating with one yesterday on the phone. And I told her, and this animal was always timid, was more timid of people, especially like when strangers come in or what have you. And it came over right next to me and wanted me just constantly petting it. And I was telling them that the person that had the cane was okay. They weren't going to hurt them because it was the animal was telling me that it wasn't going near this person because of this cane, because somebody was hit somebody before it came to live with these people was hitting it with a cane. And it come over and it gave me this ball. So it's like that enlightenment coming in and being able to communicate with everything as a whole, like plants, animals, and people, and just the whole of the galactic, the whole of energy, spirit. Everything is spirit. So they're seeing it, and this is what I see for the future. But that comes when change comes. When we change, when we find Christ within us, because Christ is trying to save everyone through consciousness. It's the awakening. It's waking up and seeing it for what it really is. Being able to see your own destiny, making your own destiny, not letting someone else say who you are or who you have to be. The secret is 1111. Creativity. We have there's free energy, Nikola Tesla, crystals. The secret is again. We're all around. And some they don't believe in that, but it helps because everybody is here from different timelines, different eras, and what have you, and it's bringing all the natural elements, the natural healings back into society to fix a society that's not working, a civilization that has more or less gone off the rails. Okay, everybody's saying that Yeshua was God. Well, if Yeshua was God, is God human? Good point. Okay, it's knowing the difference. That's part of the waking up. Okay, because I went through it. I went through the dark night of the soul. I still go through dark nights of the soul. I still go through the shadow growth and what have you, because it's what we go through. It's becoming the empowerment of both your masculine and feminine energy of what the teachings were. But like I said, it got all misconstrued because we're looking for we're looking for a kingdom, the kingdom of God. Well, the kingdom of God is within you. You are the temple. You are the church. And I'm going to read it now, what it says in the Bible, because, well, in this Bible, I don't, but there's certain things in there that I will refer to because it was one of the phrases that I heard and read about was wives shall submit to thy husbands. Really? And that's for everything. Really? It's not about one submitting to the other. It's called teamwork. It's called working together. It's called being one, integrating everything together. That's how you fucking parent, or you're supposed to, is it not? And it's not about one powering over the other or one having the last say. Okay? Oh, shit. Let me find it. Mm-hmm. I'm just finding it. I'm going into something. Kiram durian. Yeah, ashwagandha salad. Uy, kiram. Yeah, kutto. Sige, sorry if I didn't play for doing. Ephesians 5:22 to 33. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. Jesus did not want women submitting. Jesus, Yeshua, did not want people submitting. And you say he's Lord, but he doesn't want people submitting. And people, they in these religions and what have you, a lot of them leave out the mother. Fuck. You have to have the mother. The man can't have the baby. Like, I'd love to see it come out your penis, man. Husbands ask the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. Well, you are your church, so you are head of your church. So if you're a woman, why is the man ahead of your church? You are in charge of your own body. You are in charge of your own mind. You are in charge of your own spirit, your own soul, your own consciousness. This is a spirit to spirit. So if people are getting aggravated with me, well, I guess it's the spirit that's within you that's attached to you that is getting aggravated and doesn't like me. And oh well, I didn't come here to be liked. Some people love me, some people loathe me, some people like me, some people hate me, and I really don't care either way because I came here to help people wake up and see their own truth, not somebody else's truth. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing if it's affecting you in a negative way. Everybody, people's going to make their own mistakes. We can advise them on stuff, but we can't make their choices for them. And I'm getting so tired of hearing people like going in and saying about, like preaching about righteous. The righteous are going to heaven. The righteous are going to heaven. Hey, have you made it yet? Are you righteous? As people perceive it, but righteous actually means making right choices. But some people don't want to look at that because, a biblical text says this is how righteous. You've got to be perfect. Perfect is what you make it. Okay? We all have sins because we're all living under systems integrated into society. And we live by those programs. We live in fear that if we don't do something, that we're going to be said to be this way or that way. It's like we're being condemned for things that are just like people go and they steal a loaf of bread because they're starving. The sins are the ones the systems that are causing people to be starving, so they have no other choice but to go steal a loaf of fucking bread if they have no other way to get it. So it's the sins, the systems integrated into society that cause people to appear to be a sinner when they're actually just trying to fucking survive. And we make mistakes. It's a matter of learning from it. You can go in and do your confirmation or whatever the heck it's called as many times as you want. And then you expect Yeshua, God, what have you, to forgive you and then take on your sins for you because you want to keep making mistakes. Because you want to keep doing the same fucking thing over and over again and saying, oh, I'll just go get forgiven and I'll go do the same thing over and over and over again. Well, that person, if you're saying that Yeshua died on the cross for you, for your sins, it's about time you fucking take care of your own sins and get your shit together instead of expecting somebody else to do it for you. Because they can't. Wife as Christ is head of the church, his body, of which he is the savior. So if God is everything, God is spirit, then you are God. And that means that your body is that part of God's body, not the next person to you. Being the higher being of you, which is the higher connection with spirit. So that's why if somebody comes in and starts trying like looking at and preaching to me about something that's in the Bible, and they're saying, well, like I've had so many people say like about this religion and that religion. And oh, like you got to go by this, you got to go by that. I'll go by what I go by. I will go by what my heart is telling me. And if something doesn't sound right and something doesn't appear right, I know it because I feel it in my body. You get sensations throughout your body. And some people yesterday, they had a lot of ascension symptoms, a lot of symptoms from the solar eclipse. A lot of people started feeling very like they were ill, like they were having major headaches, not like just here and up here and just body aches, chills, and what have you. That's when you're having that. That's the part when you go within yourself, you meditate, you sit with yourself, you go in your heart space, and you expand. Allow the energy, the Christ energy to move through you. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so as wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Seriously? Talk about ego, right? Because when you become one with spirit, you become the masculine and feminine, so you become in charge of yourself. You are able to make your own freaking decisions. You can hear what other people have to say. You got to go with you. What's your intuition telling you? What's your heart telling you? What's your instincts telling you? What's your gut telling you? That is my philosophy. I don't know what you're saying no to. Not being rude, but I don't know what you're saying no to. Well, whatever anybody picks, I guess that's their business, ain't it? That's not for you to worry about. But I go with Christ consciousness and I'm aware that the darkness is there too because we all, that's called the balance. Yeah, I just heard like the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus is up in here. Everything. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Christ gave himself up for her. Christ gave himself up for her. Who is her? Her would be the mother. We are both mother, father, the masculine, feminine, and we lost that along the way. Santa Claus. It's like we say about Santa Claus. Santa Claus is the imagination, and the imagination would be the Santa Claus up in within the cerebral, because we got the cerebral spinal fluid, which is the anointing. It's the oils. It's what makes the brain go. And when you listen to different frequencies, it actually gets the electricity going throughout your brain throughout your body to activate your cells again so that they are able to help you to heal within yourself. The meditation can actually get you quieted down so that you can expand. And I've said it before, when you get into that meditative state, you can actually get into a meditative state where you just feel like you're air. You don't even really feel your body. You just feel like you're air, like just being. And it is true. It is real. I experience it all the time whenever I get into a meditative state. A lot of the time, I just feel extremely light. It's like you're literally medicated. I was there. I was actually addicted to Tylenol free codeine. I was taking, on top of that, I was taking Advil extra strength, shit positive. I was taking shit positive ibuprofen. I was taking shit pills of the Tylenol 2s over the counter. I was just popping pills left and right because I was in so much pain. And I just wanted to escape it. And you go in to psychologists or what have you, and the first thing they want to do is hand you a pill instead of actually realizing that, you got to get the person out of the head. You got to get them feeling it in your body so that they can experience it and say where they're feeling it so that they can release it and let it go. It's all in your diet too. It's all in everything. What you see, like what you watch on TV, you watch negative stuff, you're just going to gravitate into negative stuff and you're not going to feel well. I'm sorry, did you let it crust? What does that mean? If you tried to do that, what you're doing is you're actually violating the universal laws because it's an infringement on someone else. I always tell people, hurt me, you're only hurting yourself. Some people actually try doing that. Nice for you, so do I. That's why I did a lot of things on my journey to experience different forms of pain. I was actually raped on the astral plane in a very negative spiritual realm for 2 hours straight hollering, and nobody heard me for help. And I had shit piles of semen inside of me. I fought for my life. They tried to twist my head off. They tried to rip my heart out. They tried to tear my rib off. They tried to gouge my eyes out. They tried to choke me. They literally tried tearing me apart. I actually have vision too, where there's a very disturbing looking animal, and I tore its face in half. Those are my nightmares. Those are things that I've experienced through dream realm and what have you. But it just makes me stronger. because it means I got through it. And I know most of the stuff that comes out of me when it's a psychic aspect, it comes out in the different forms of languages. I actually, sometimes I do, like I'm working with a couple of people right now where I sit with them and I actually connect with the person to try to help them find what it is that they're looking for as to why are you asking these questions? Why do you want to know the answers to these questions? It's not about me giving you the answers, it's about helping you find the answers for yourself. Exactly. God put us here for a reason, and we don't get any more than what we can handle. And apparently, well, a lot of us can handle a lot. And I've tried taking my life a number of, like 4 times because I felt like that was the only way out. I felt like I was a burden on my family because of the way like things were going down. And then when I died, it was more like, and then the last time I tried to take my life was 4 years ago today. Because what I just described, it was the night of the supermoon, which was actually April 7th, April 8th of 2020. And then we just had the eclipse of 2024, exactly 4 years later. So I've been on a rough journey. But every time I go through something, it's just spirit helping me to become stronger. Because spirit is my teacher, spirit is my full guide, and that spirit works through everyone. So everyone is a lesson for me. Everyone is a teacher for me. Everyone is a guide for me because I learn from everyone. And that's how I'm able to bring forth different forms of knowledge or teachings or what have you. It's because I observe, I experience other people. I connect with other people on many different levels. And I can tell when somebody's trying to rip me apart. I can tell when somebody in the spirit is trying to get in. And it's like, really sick with the body. And I go within myself. And I talk with that spirit. Or I say, no, no entry. Because you're not, like, you're not there. You're not ready to experience it. You still have that inner work to do within yourself. If I would like, can you give me the winning lottery numbers? Maybe we could share. But it's not about the money. It's about being able to release that and the lack of fear. You're an empath too. Oh my God. Okay, hi. You're an empath too. Cool. Okay. So, okay, back to oh shit. Oh, shit. It's good day for you, eh? Okay. Husbands love their wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up to her. Okay. Say it again, up to her. It's not about man. Like I get this puzzle thing that comes up like after an hour or something like that saying continue verify to continue. Oh, peaceful. Okay. I got my mouth open. Oh, okay. Um, up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing of water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church. So the feminine is the church. The feminine is like it's bringing the both together to become the feminine masculine, the church, the temple. the chakras. You have the temple, the pyramid. Okay, if you look, that's the pyramid. You have the pyramids in Gaza or in all throughout the world. There's different forms of pyramid, and they're finding out that, like Tesla was seeing it, and he realized that it has to do with the energy. So it's like like I said, like this sometimes, like I could even be walking and I'm constantly working on my fingertips because the fingertips are actually representative, I find, of aligning the chakras, because they say with mental health or depression or what have you, it's because you have a chemical imbalance within your body, which is actually not so much a chemical imbalance as it is an energy imbalance. Okay, it's the chakras that are imbalanced, and when I, like, the index finger, I find they work with regards to the root chakra and the sacral chakra. The middle fingers, they work the solar plex to the lower heart. The ring fingers work the upper heart to the throat chakra. The pinkies work the third eye to the crown chakra, and you find, like, your masculine side, okay, is the right side of the brain, so it works the left side of the body. Your left side of your brain is the feminine, so it works the right side of the body. So you have that right. So when you're working with this, the different fingertips to the thumb, then you're actually moving the energy within your chakras, so you're bringing them in alignment with one another. Okay. Church, without strain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In this same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. Okay, it's that part of, like, even it works both ways. It's loving both. It's do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. So if you want to be treated with respect and appreciation and love and compassion and with grace and with all pleasantry, then you do it. You do the same. What you expect for yourself, and that's what you give for others. But don't expect people, if you're treating someone like shit, don't expect them to treat you like gold, because it's that karma. You're getting back what you're putting out. It's seeing through the veil. And that's like when I showed the video of the eclipse, and I was saying, like, if you look at that picture, I have it on my TikTok and I have it on my YouTube. If you look, and it's like it's see-through. It's like a magnifying glass. It's like looking through the veil, and you can actually see the clouds moving behind it. And it's like it's like an orb, and it's moving. Okay, you can actually see it moving in the video, and you can actually look and see it going past the clouds within that orb. It's like taking magnifying glass and going like this. Kind of a light, as they say. Okay, your own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. Okay, so when if you're treating your partner, because it's either like I go masculine feminine because it works both ways. Okay, it's not taking sides. It works both ways, because we all, both sexes, carry the masculine and feminine gene. Just sometimes one overpowers the other, and it's bringing back the balance so that you can work and align yourself to your higher being, to the spirit, to the soul, to the body, to just the entirety of the essence, back to love. Um, After all, no one ever hated his own body, but you know what? We didn't originally. And it's been a program, it's been a system integrated into our society to have us concentrating and looking at our flaws because there's so much misconception out there. There's so much filters and do you know? I went for modeling pictures when I was 17, right? And they put my makeup on and they did my pictures. And when I went in to get changed and I looked in the mirror, it was like, whoa, scary or what? It was like, holy crap. Like, what did they do? But that's how they, it's filters. It's just a bunch of makeup. It's a mask. And then our kids look at these people and we're idolizing them. So our kids and us, we're looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I wish I looked like that person. Do you know the fucking hell that person had to go through to look like that? They're going to starve themselves. They're going to take a persona on some, like with actors and stuff. You've got to become a beast to play a part. Seriously? They say, go the way. Why not? Like, why? Like, holy crap, man. It's like shit. And people idolize that? Like, where's your common sense? Not throwing shade on people. I'm asking a legitimate question. Where's the common sense? And we're putting this stuff in front of our children, especially young female adolescents. And they're thinking that they gotta look like this in order to get anything in life, to get anywhere in life. And that is so misguided. And when we put that out there, because we're insecure about ourselves too, and it works both with man and male and female, masculine and feminine. It works both ways. That's why we're always looking at one another and judging one another. We're too worried about what other people think of us in that sense. There's like taking care of yourself, but not teaching each other that, oh well, you know, like I don't like you because you don't look like this person. Well, okay, good for you. Then go find that person, or go find somebody that looks like them, or like you know, what have you. Dice que tu debería. After all, no one ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cares for it, just as Christ does the church. Well, that's coming back to the oneness. We need to feed our body. We need to heal our bodies. We need to take care of our bodies and listen to our bodies, not a fucking program, not a commercial that says, go get your McDonald's. Oh, we got a big deal on. Go get your McDonald's. It's like, go watch They Live. Consume, buy. And that's what we're doing because we're so full of anxiety and stress. And we're always too worried about keeping up with the Joneses and what Joe Blow or Nancy Drew has down the road. Seriously? You don't know what fucking Karen is. Maybe you're a Karen and that's why you're in here to be a Karen. Oh, shoot. Dang it. I thought I had my tablet plugged in. Okay. Uh, the church. For we are members of his body, of the body of the church. We're it's conscious. We are spirit, so we are embodiment. Some don't believe that. or realize it, but that's totally fine. You see people waiting. For the reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Okay? That's you're married, like being married to God, being married to spirit is the masculine and feminine that comes together. Basically, it's not so much being married to a physical person as being married to the oneness of self, being committed to spirit, taking care of you, and then being able to help others and show others the way. For this, united with his wife and to become flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Well, respect works both ways. So this is why I have a problem with the Bible, because a lot of it is like it's like going to a doctor's office, and then at the end of the day, that's when the doctor like more or less writes stuff in the file. So it's like writing what he thinks he remembers you saying or what the appointment was about. Okay, so that's the part where like someone can doctor it. I use the Bible as an example sometimes. Theseus, Theseus. That's what I was looking in, because I had somebody one day tell me that wives shall submit to their husbands. That's why I use that as an example, because that's why I come in and I will say, bring up things about the Bible of how I find that it is misguided in certain senses. There's truth to it, and there's manipulation to it, and there's things that are all intertwined from everything. And some parts of it are put as an agenda, because a lot of the time it causes conflict, because it's just a constant bickering back and forth. And you know, if you're constantly bickering back and forth, then you're not looking within yourself. You're not finding God from within you. You're not finding spirit through you. And that's why we become sick. That's why we become sick physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And mental health is actually caused from a lack of spiritual health, lack of understanding of yourself and your own body. No, people are not bad because of Adam and Eve, because it is up to you, your decisions. They didn't make them for you, you made them yourself. That's another part of misguiding. They blamed Eve. They blamed the woman. That's why I had that thing that to that in that aspect. Well, the feminine is considered to be a dirty bag, unkept. So and we're not. So how you perceive the Bible or biblical text or what have you is how you perceive it. But I have to ask, did you just like skim through did you read the book, or did you get preached it, or do you live by your own experiences and understand it through your own spirit, through your own self? have to ask, how do you know that there was even a fruit? Let me see. Because a biblical text said it. Were you there? Do you know what happened? So it's an assumption. Because the Bible only came out, what was it, like 3 years ago in some texts? Right? You know, I have that book. Oh, I even know Tesla. Hey, I got the book of books those. No, I haven't read them yet. Because I really don't like to read a lot because, I go by my own experiences. I listen to what other people have to say, but my body will tell me whether or not. Whether I believe in the Bible or not, that's my business, isn't it? So that's the problem with the world. Everybody's too worried about what other people's beliefs are, and nobody's open to other people's. They just want to point fingers and say that their religion's right and the other person's wrong. Their Bible's right, the other person's Bible's wrong. Well, like I said, it's all got truth in it, but it's all scattered all over the place. And it just keeps people fighting over who's right and who's wrong. And if you're fighting over it, well, neither one of you are right. Because Yeshua wasn't here about religion. No, I know you're not judging me, but I'm saying because other people would kind of look at that in that fashion. So that's why I say, like, if somebody wants to come in here, try preaching the Bible to me, well, there's many channels out there that do stuff like that, but that's not what my channel's about. I'm not here to Bible thump anyone. I'm not here to preach. I'm here using my own experiences to explain because many people are experiencing very similar experiences to myself right now and have been for many years. And they don't know where to turn because they've had people telling them that, oh, you're crazy or you have psychosis, or you have schizophrenia, you have this label, you have that label. Take your labels and shove them up your arsehole. Like I'm serious. It puts a stigmata on people, and then they can't live it. They can't let it. They can't get rid of it because the medical community just carries it on and on and on. Here I am, fucking. Oh shit. More than 30 years later, and they're still doing that to me. Well, trying because I don't go to a doctor anymore. I basically washed my hands of them because I look to spirit for my healing now. I look to my guides. I look to my angels. I look to I look to the spirit within myself because spirit will guide me. Spirit is I said, spirit is my leader. Spirit is my teacher. Do I look mad? Spirit frustrated. Yes, I'm like, I don't care who I talk to about it now. Don't like what I have to say, or like don't believe me, or don't understand my experiences. Well, that's on you. It's not on me. I don't really care whether the person does or not. I was to the psychiatric unit 3 times in 1 year, and they let me out and diagnosed me as unexplained. So, because how do I know that? Because I went in one day and the therapist there, she looked at the crisis therapist, she looked at me and said, do you know what they have you diagnosed with? I said, oh, probably psychosis or schizophrenia. She said, no. She said, they have you down as unexplained. Because I go in and I speak in the languages with these people and I challenge them because their books are not all right. It's like, how about people start using, like, looking at their own experiences and understanding people on a deeper level than worrying about fucking looking in a book and getting your damn answers. I told you, maybe I don't come off as very spiritual, but the spirituality of it is really enlightenment and waking up to the truth, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or what have you. Exactly. You are what you believe. You are what, like, believe, eat, what have you. And like I said, I may come off as a bitch. I may come off as an asshole. Oh well, I'll make you laugh. I'll make you cry. I'll piss you off. And sometimes I'll even feel the aggravation that you have, where maybe you just want to rip my head off or smack me upside the head or something. Sometimes, just I say, just remember, hurt me. You're only hurting yourself. I've had attacks where people, like, I could feel the experience of somebody trying to strangle me, or like cut my vocal cords off, and it's like, disciplina. Like, I like it. Like, part of, just remember, hurt me, you're only hurting yourself, because I'm you, you are me. That's the oneness. That's the spirit of it. I experience your feelings, and, like, we experience each other's feelings. I I just had the smart mouth want to come out and say I'm from my mother, but I'm from my mother and my father, but I'm from Canada. I don't tell people where I live per se or anything like that. Just, I'm from Canada. And I don't have, it's not so much, like, I don't have a lot, like, I don't have, like, religion so much in my house as I have a lot of spiritual things within my house, because it actually helps me to get closer and more connected with my spiritual aspect of spirit. You're from Canada? Nice. I think they're like, Canada is considered to be a very loving, caring place, but sometimes people can perceive us as being pushovers. And some Canadians like their beer and what have you, and it's like, we're fun, but we're loving people. We care about people, and right now, I mean, there's a lot going on, and people are coming together more and more now. I still don't give out where I live, because last time I gave out where I lived, I had a little bit of chaos coming into my life. So basic. But I was in New Brunswick and seen the. I'm from the Maritimes, let's say, and I seen the eclipse. It was very nice. It was very different. Kind. So, tikito to e tare sa kaya sa the Atlantic provinces. The Esfiltay, and some places don't like the Atlantic provinces, and it's like, do you forget that most of the Atlantic provinces are the ones that go to war? It's true, and then you get them coming from the Atlantic provinces, and they're going out west, and they're working on the rigs and everything like that, and then it's like, okay, well, we're workers, we're what have you. A lot of us came from the old countries. So it's like we're the older generations of Canada, we, like, more or less. So it's like, I'm speaking the language of spirit. There's a lot of different languages intertwined sometimes. I call it God's language. Some people call it tongues, some people call it light language. I've had people tell me that I was speaking Celtic, German, Portuguese, um, Ukraine. I actually had a woman approach me summers one day. I was with my dad, and she approached me, and she was kind of pulling on my sweater, and she was speaking in Ukrainian, speaking Ukraine. And when I was trying to go, and I was like, kind of not. At first, I wasn't comprehending what she was saying, and then all of a sudden, I just started speaking to her in her language, and we had a quick conversation. And then I walked off and said, I went to my dad and said, Dad, I just spoke Ukrainian to that woman. So it's that's the part of waking up. I tell people, like, if you feel like you're going to speak gibberish or what have you, allow it to come out, because what you're doing is a form of channeling. You're channeling. Yes. It's it's different forms of spirit from, yeah, just the entirety of the universe. It's like everything has a consciousness, plants and what have you. So it's just forms of spirit. And what comes forward is spirit coming through me, because I am a channel for spirit. And we're all channels, only we don't realize it because we're not conscious of it, because it's told that it's coming down, but it's actually remembrance. So it's yeah, being aware. It's like being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your body. What is your body telling you? Right now, I'm feeling the heart chakra. I'm feeling an expansion, and it's like I know that like a lot of people, like, well, if they appear to be having mental health issues, or they appear to be ADHD or autistic or what have you, what it is autism. To me, when I look at the word autism, I see autosensitive, because there's so many different sounds and frequencies going on. And that's why you get, and they're like all in different directions and seeing all different things at the same time. And sometimes they'll hold their head like this, like, just shut up. It's because they're psychic, and and telepaths, and they don't realize that, because everything is just, it's so much coming in all at once. It just sounds like just a constant noise. So they can't. That's part of being a medium too. It's it's spirits coming in, because everybody, in a lot of cases, everybody wants to be heard at the same time, and that's why you get so much chatter, and that's why we get fighting and stuff like that. And I've even told people, like, if you walk up to somebody and you don't even know them, and you feel like you don't like them, or they rub you the wrong way, it's not that it's not you per se that doesn't like them, because you don't even freaking know them. It's the spirit to spirit aspect of it. No, I don't. I got one, and when I was going in to get it, I cried, because I didn't want to get it. I had somebody nagging at me and nagging. They kept saying, "It's your patriotic duty. It's your patriotic duty." And then it was just like, and then it was like I almost had a pride. If you do it, then I'll do this for you. And it's like, okay. And then at the end of it, like, the person that was telling me it was my patriotic duty, it was like they were getting sick, and my heart was saying, "Okay, what have you?" And so then I decided that I would go get it, but I cried, because I felt like it was to cause harm to people like myself because I looked into things and I seen the Sexual Sterilization Act. And there's a lot of controversy between that. And like they say, they'll say the word, and your internet platforms, you don't like what I got to say. Oh well, COVID-19. Okay, it was actually the real name for it was coronavirus. Okay, you seen the eclipse? Corona. The corona is the outer layer of the sun, and it's emitting solar flares, which is hitting the human body, which is making people shift within themselves. So they're experiencing a lack of breathing and what have you because they're already sick, and then um, it's a force. It's like taking someone's free will because there was a lot of stuff like you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't do this, you can't do that. It was fear tactics, and it was bribery, it was blackmail, it was an abuse of authority, it was crimes against humanity, and a lot of people like they got it because they feared they were going to lose their jobs. It was bullying. And I personally had someone close to me pass because of one of the major side effects from it. Some people don't believe that because they don't want to comprehend that the people we're supposed to look to is actually not trying to help us or trying to harm us in many ways. But some people don't want to look to that because you are your own healer. You can heal yourself. I healed through spirit because spirit guided me to listen to frequencies. Tesla said of those frequencies, 432, 528. Okay? It's sound, it's vibrations, and the sounds of it. Like when I started listening to the frequencies, it was really weird because my body would jump, and it was like it was torquing because it was shifting. It was moving, like moving all the nerve endings and what have you. My body was shifting, and I've come to learn that if I had a pain, and I was experiencing like a pain in my body or what have you, like if I had a back pain, what I do is I lean into it, and then I go that extra bit, and then I'd hold it there, and then it would let go. Yes. Well, when I got the vaccine, I had a very bad reaction to it. I got home and I was sitting on the couch, and then it was like my fan was making, like I was hearing this awful noise, and it was like really, and it made me go out, like unconscious. I had to tell the person that was there with me. I said, "Call the ambulance. I'm gone." And then I just like kind of went down to the ground. My body started convulsing, and like slamming off the floor. And I went to the psychiatric unit because, like, shit happens. But I knew what was going on. And when I got out of the hospital and I seen the person, they kept telling me, "Oh, it's your patriotic duty. You're going to kill people if you don't get it. You're going to kill people if you don't get it." Well, I always thought that it was to protect you and not others. It's up to them to protect themselves in that way. And it was like, because this person was military. And I just like, and when I see them, I gave them the wrath. I just blasted them. It was my choice, but it was the fact of them pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing because it became a bully tactic. a manipulative tactic. And I don't like people like that. Sorry, there wasn't what true? They lied to you. So I did. I ripped the strip off them, and then they later found out other things about it because they got two, and they later found things out about it, and they didn't go back for another one. It was just more of manipulative tactics than it was a major crime against humanity. It was a universal. It was against the universal laws of free will. Everybody still had free will, but their livelihoods were threatened, and and some of us we come out like they say the meek will inherit the earth. Well, think of a raccoon. A raccoon is pretty meek, it just kind of runs away when people come or what have you. But if it's livelihood, like it's food source or it's shelter or it's babies or family or what have you, is threatened. What will a raccoon do? And if it's cornered, a raccoon will come out fighting and it will rip the fucking face right off. Controlling people, manipulative people that are out for a profit because people think we didn't pay for those trails, but yeah, you did. You're constantly paying for things that you think you're not paying for. And I'm here to say, wake up, people. It's time to step out of the programming. It's time to go within and find the answers within yourself and start hearing what other people have to say. Don't shut it down. Don't close it. Be open to what other people are saying, as you would want others people to be open to what you're saying. It's like that opinion or what have you. It's like you're working somewhere, and it's like only one person's allowed to have an opinion, even if it was detrimental to the whole group. That one person was only allowed to have an opinion, and if somebody else had an opinion, well, they were wrong. I'm working on something right now where the person like tried it was like they were trying to discourage me. And anytime I have an opinion, well, those people don't want to talk to me no more. It's like, oh well, yeah, you always start with something. Well, fuck, man, you started it like shit. You want to have a conversation, but you only want to have a one-sided conversation where you're the only one with an opinion or that can say shit, and everybody else who had a mouthful gotta fucking swallow it. Fuck you. I was awake a long time ago too, and I kind of had that like I got in an accident afterwards. It kind of made me very ill, and I kept getting sicker and sicker. But that's when I died, and there is a bright light. It's like you're going right up into the sun. It's like holy shit, man. But like when I was going into shock, it's like I was there and I was fighting it. And it was like spirit just telling me, you gotta let go. You gotta let go. And when I let go, it was like a release, and I seen the lights, like the light kept duplicating, getting bigger. It started as 369, and then it just went like I was going through the sun, and wouldn't let me remember what I seen or what I experienced. The only thing that they allowed me to remember was that I turned around and came back. I made the choice that no, I want to help people. I want to help people find the kingdom within themselves. I want to help people see that they're able to heal themselves, that they don't have to look to it for outside source, that they don't have to spend thousands of dollars to help themselves. Like, fine, go to the medical community, but also look into the spiritual community, the different parts of it. Look into listening to frequencies, just being in nature, just meditating. Like, start off with just a minute quieting your mind. And I know it can be hard, but when you're not when you're having a hard time coming out of your brain because everything's so going haywire and what have you, find the way to go within your heart space. Just say heart. Just go into the middle. It's like, okay. Okay. Brain center, or brain, heart, brain, center. Okay, center. Okay. Think of the universe. Okay, you got the heaven, you got the earth, and you got the hell. Okay, Pandora's box. And I'm going to get a little, right out there because it just come to me in like the word box. Okay, because the derogatory word that they use sometimes, the box. Okay, the ladies' uterus, ladies' body parts. Okay, and it's worse for men too because it's the same vicinity. It's the sacral chakra. Okay, so you have the grounding. Okay, and you have like the Pandora's box. Okay, the taboo. Okay, hope is the taboo. And hope is rising. And that's why you're getting the voice activation. You're getting all the activations, and then you're using your voice. Using your voice to express yourself, using your, your, your body to express yourself. The most important part is expressing yourself, being able to express yourself through your heart, being able to feel what you're experiencing and look at what you're experiencing and talk to yourself about what you're experiencing, finding out what changed within you, what changed within your thoughts, what changed within your physical space. Did like did you bring something new into the house, or did you like move something, or did somebody come into your space? Because anxiety can also be felt from other people. That's the empath part. I heard somebody today say that somebody has said that like they have a lot on here and saying, God is coming, and what have you. I'm here to tell you, God is already here because God is within here. So God never left. We are the ones that we disconnected from it because we were too concerned with somebody else. We were looking outside and giving our power away. Exactly. Spirit. We are self-fulfilling prophecies. They will work hard. Other forces, other parts will work hard to try and cause fear for bad things to happen. That's what causes bad things to happen, is the perception of how angry people get because they're too busy going with the narrative. They're too busy looking at a TV set going like this. Oh, what's next? Oh gosh. Like when was the last time they showed anything positive on the news? And it's like I was watching the news here one day on Samsung, and I looked up at the date, and it was dated for 2 years prior. And I wasn't watching a rerun either because like not too many news stations plays reruns, but we're picking things up from different timelines. different parallel worlds and what have you, because we're constantly moving. I was telling somebody yesterday that I was driving one day and it was like I missed like 6 or 9 kilometers because I was saying that like we go through time warp, we go through wormholes. And they kind of laughed and said, "Oh, well, like that's a real problem." Like because I lost, like because it wasn't that I lost it. I had somebody tell me that I wasn't paying attention. Really? I wasn't paying attention for 9 fucking kilometers. Wouldn't I have gone off the road in between that 9 kilometers? Hello, people. This is the use your common sense. Use the brain that God gifted you with for creation. To use your own discernment, to use your own common sense, to see your wisdom that you inherited from spirit. Demon is somebody that demonizes somebody because they say that they're sick. When somebody throws shade on you, when somebody tells you that you're not good enough, that's not a God. When you go into a church and you feel like you're not welcome there because of you have a different belief system, but you feel you should be able to walk into any church at any time because it's said to be the house of God, but you feel like you don't belong there, that's not a God. People making you feel uncomfortable because you went into a place where it's said to be a place to worship God, and you have people feeling like they don't belong there, or they're a piece of shit, or they're a sinner, or they're going to hell, or anything like that. That's not a God, and you're fucking a demon yourself doing that. I had an exorcism in '99 because I'm going through like a dark night of the soul, and I had no fucking clue because I had no guides. I wasn't understanding nothing, and I went through it this time too, where I had nobody understanding what I was experiencing because they were too busy listening to what a doctor was fucking saying instead of looking at things from the past when they actually like seen it. Because if they didn't, then they wouldn't have took me to have an exorcism. Now would have they? So it's like no, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean by fair feed demons. Do you mean like an exhibition, like these? Uh, what is it? Pinocchio, Pleasure Island, because there are a lot of them that do hide in places like that. I got a piece of skin there. Yeah, I buy my nails. I let them grow, like I let them grow sometimes, but I it's not so much nerves. They just get on me. Sometimes they get on my nerves because if I'm typing or what have you. And I used to tell me like I had my nails like that long before, and if they get so long, I say that I bite them off because like you know I can't like. Yeah, I can say it. Yeah, they should like because like make your nose bleed a bit if you got a long nail. But yes, it does. Fear feeds the darkness because it wants you in constant fear. Because if you're in constant fear, you're consuming, you're buying, you're creating a profit for them. In that sense, it's that part where it's like war is profitable because it causes shit tons of anxiety, fear, conflict, and like with these glasses here, it caused many like shit tons of people to go out and buy them, and they were $4 each where we got them, and it's like what? Holy shit, man! Like that's profitable. That's the same as the masks when everybody had to have a mask. It was profitable. Everybody was told you had to wear a mask, which we're being told we have to wear a mask. We are the mask. And this was just trying to, like, you know, and to cover your mouth to say, shut your mouth. Don't you dare say a word because if you say anything, we're going to take everything from you. Fuck you. You already did. I lost family members. I just isolated myself because I didn't want to be around people. And it caused me to put a mask on, to not be who I am. Telling you, you can't be your authentic self. Don't you dare speak evil. Put your goggles on so you don't see it. Don't forget your earplugs. You mean the face mask? Yeah, I've got. I when we had to do them, like I go like they say you had to have them in the hospital. They pass it to you because you weren't allowed in the hospital without them. So I put the mask on, and then I go like this and put it on my chin. I still see people driving there, like I'm not throwing shade on people because they're still in that fear aspect. They're still in the program. But I don't understand why people are walking down the sidewalk with them on their face. Like people are driving in their cars by themselves. Okay, because it's just to cause fear. It causes anxiety. If you can like cause anxiety and then say, "Oh, okay, we got to calm," cause more anxiety. Oh, we got to calm. It's like a fucking roller coaster. And then like when I experience spirit, and I experience know that I'm experiencing other people's emotions and what have you. Holy crap! Sometimes I just want to rip the head off people because it's like you want to shake them and say, "Why are you such a fucking asshole?" Or "Why are you doing this to people?" But we're told that we have to shut up or we're going to get shut down. Yes, there is like yeah, like still people wearing the mask, not the way it was, but it's like this is a spirit to spirit because right now I have somebody trying to, crush me right here. Yes, I'm gonna come off as psychotic. It is what it is. At least like I know what I'm experiencing and I explain what I'm experiencing to people. So if I didn't know what I was going through, then I wouldn't be able to explain it. Okay. And a lot of people they're going through it and they don't know how to explain it because the right people are in place to help them understand what they're experiencing. Because you're experiencing the dark night of the soul, you're experiencing the purging, the shadows coming to the surface saying, hey, you're going to fucking deal with me now. No, we're never alone. And like we always have spirit with us. And that's why like more and more people are saying like they feel like somebody's there. Well, yeah, you feel like somebody's there because there's a spirit there. So you're not just like feeling like you're actually, it's there. When you're hearing voices, you're actually hearing voices on a telepathic level, and you do get the negative voices, and you do get the positive voices, but it's leaning towards the positive voices and telling the negative voices, hey, go fuck off in a corner somewhere and come back when you want to be sensible. And I put my armor on. The armor of God, the Sikutoy. I had somebody, and I'm really like grateful for them. Like they got me through a big part of my growth and spiritual growth and what have you. Because it was like they said, they put the armor of God on, and it's the armor of spirit. It's our ancestors, our loved ones, our guides, our angels. It's the entirety of the universe because God is the entirety of everything, and we are the universe. Because, like I said, you got the heaven, you got the earth, and then what hell in your earth, or you got what have you. So the secret. So I did a video where I'm like basically way at that ciudad de Guillermo Coy, que aquí a la ciudad de Sora que es toda la right now it's a clearing, but it's aquí a una. Pues, pues, this is a spirit to spirit. It's a channeling. You may not feel like you understand the language, but you're actually your higher essence, your spirit, your connection with spirit actually understands it. So you may be experiencing different. Some may be experiencing different things in their body or what have you, because it's the connection. Eyes are the opening. Okay, and you can look in someone's eyes. You can see if somebody is there, okay, or if they're kind of off and lost. It's like we all. I was at Islam. I was lost in my own family. Okay, and some can relate to the I was lost because we all come in experiencing different things, and some have an easier life, and some go through many dark nights of the soul. Because not only are you experiencing and taking on your own karma from past experiences, but sometimes you're taking on others. And the way to breaking the karmic circle is by like when somebody throws it, like, okay, I get a lot of psychic attacks, and for me, it's like, okay, if that's what gets you through the day, okay, because I like, right, I don't know what they're experiencing in their life is like, I don't know what they're going through. Maybe I'm triggering and pissing them off because it's stirring something up within them, and they don't want to hear it, they don't want to look at it, because it reminds them so much of their own experiences that it's having like flashback effect. We have like the trauma is in the moment. That's where the trauma is. The trauma is in that moment, and it becomes a PTSD, a post-traumatic stress disorder, because we keep reliving it. And I said before that why we keep reliving it is because spirit is actually trying to tell you you need to look at this. You need to have a closer look. Okay? So if spirit's telling you, look at it doesn't mean like maybe you are so focused on the the traumatic part of it, the bad part of it, that maybe there was something that you missed, that was something where you took your power, where you had your own power, but you only remembered the bad parts of it, because we always tend to remember all the bad stuff, but we tend to forget the parts where maybe we stood up for ourselves, and we just didn't remember that because it was that moment, but you empowered yourself in another way. And then these parts that keep you in that vicious circle, it's the part where you go to a therapist, what they need to do instead of like keeping you up in the head and thinking about it all the time, is taking you out of the head and bringing you down into the body so you can feel it, so you can see it within yourself, because you are the projector. Your whole body projects everything. It's the Akashic records, or what have you, however some perceive it. But you are your own system, and it's like a virus getting into your system, a virus program that keeps you away from being who you truly are within your higher being. Spirit, what spirit brought you here for, because spirit didn't bring you here to be miserable. Spirit didn't bring you here to only feel pain and loss and fear and anger and a lack of wealth. That's not why you were brought here. You were brought here to experience. And we are our own self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself positive things all the time, and you believe positive things, you're going to live a more positive life. If you focus on all your bad shit, if you focus on all the negative stuff in life, you're not going to see beyond that veil and see the good things, because there have been cures for cancer. There have been cures time and time again for stuff, but they seem to keep asking for money. And do you know who the people that are given the money? It's the people that are ending up with the cancer. But our family members shouldn't be dying from this. Our family members shouldn't be tortured because they say, "Oh well, this will help." It was on CTV News in like the late '80s, early '90s, where a university in Alberta had a very viable pill a viable pill that could cure cancer. And it was working in mice, and they were wanting to do it further. It was on the news, and they said that like big pharma wouldn't take it because there was no profit in it. And they said that the government was talk about the government helping with funding to bring it forward. What happened to that? But they keep saying, "Oh, donate money for cancer, or do this or do that." Do you know they're pocketing it? And do you know that it's usually the lesser wealthy people that are doing the donating? You get some actors or wealthy people, but it's only to glorify themselves. It's only to make themselves look good because they got it back. They get it back in other ways. They don't give you anything without expecting something in return. The majority of them. And if I'm wrong, I want those people to prove me wrong. Actually do something of the goodness of your heart, not expecting something in return. Allow this stuff to come out so that people can live, experience a joyful life, opposed to a life filled with conflict. This is the spirit to spirit. This is do something because it's right. Because it benefits everyone as a whole, not just a little fucking group. Like it's like I cry a lot because I experience other people cry. It's like a magnephone because Tesla said we are a receiver. Okay, we receive and we even send. So it's that part where like when you're sending that shit mood out there to everyone else. So then everyone else is like others are in the shit. And then it becomes a ball. It's that all for one. But it shouldn't be that. And I had somebody tell me that I was too sensitive or it was an activist. No, I'm not an activist because I'm not out there doing all that stuff. Like doing not really. I'm for the people as a whole. So if I put myself out there and divide myself into everything else, then I'm not able to see the bigger picture because I'm so scattered trying to focus on the next agenda that they want to bring forth to keep everybody bickering back and forth and saying who's right and who's wrong instead of seeing the bigger picture. So I guess I'm the megaphone for spirit, people that weren't able to speak up for fear of things happening. I said it before, my sixth, seventh grade grandfather in Cornwallis, Skelpings, he was one of the victims because he was standing up for the people. So it's like, how is that right? Because I'll tell you right now, we've all lost someone to it. whether it's this lifetime or previous lifetime, even if you don't understand that concept. You ever know something that you don't know how you do it? You never learned it nowhere, you never heard it nowhere? It's because you're remembering part of yourself. You're remembering your ancestors because you're a part of spirit. Just play it here. Lost. Sorry, I just read that. What do you mean you were lost? Misguided. Concerned about how to impress other people or how to fit in. There's a lot of times I didn't care if I fit in, but sometimes it's like you just you want to fit in somewhere, so you say about misfits. But see, in the in the bigger picture, okay, it's a puzzle. It's the bigger picture. We all have a place, and we get lost in that place, and that's why they say about the lost angels. Okay, a lot of us have been lost angels. This guy that lost our way, lost love for ourselves and lost love for others, and that's why there's so much killing and, and grief. It's because we lost it. It's, it's not because I'm not saying that nobody can have money, but it's right now. It's all in the wrong hands, and it's not even. And people say, "Well, I made my money." Well, okay, I understand that, but maybe it's not you that I'm talking about. Maybe it's the big corporations, organized crime like our government. And if they don't like that, well, I'll use what they say in the Bible, wasn't it? Was it Peter or one of them that was a tax collector and switched over because you see the greed in it, you see the wrongness in it because it's not being dispersed to the people. Like I had somebody say that our federal government is supposed to gives the money to each province, and then the province is responsible. Well, I can tell that person now. Well, okay, the province government was responsible, but it was also the federal government's responsibility to make sure that that province was using the money properly. But they govern themselves, and it's the people that are supposed to be overseeing things for them giving a raise to themselves. Meanwhile, we have homeless people. We have homes. Like there's places out there, but nobody can afford them to rent a room. Some rooms, just a room, $1,100, and a lot of people are out of jobs and what have you. So they get assistance. I'm a home like in the streets because, if you're on assistance or disability or what have you, and you're renting a room, well, if you're a single person, you're renting a room, you don't even get enough to rent that room because you only get a little over $600. Exactly. What the fuck? But people will go out there and throw shade on people who are on income assistance or disability or what have you because you're not even working, you're paying your fucking wages. Well, We have no fucking idea why those people are doing that. I'm on assistance, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I reached out for help. I tried to get jobs, but because I channel and I don't speak your normal languages, I couldn't get a fucking job. It's a little discrimination, but they don't like abnormal. They don't like someone that they feel doesn't fucking fit in. They're missing out on really good people when they do that to them. It's pitiful. It's disgusting. It goes to show how much our systems are suppressing people because they're so damn ignorant. They're ignorant to different possibilities. They're ignorant to believing that anything out your normal realm does not exist. Right now, this is spirit to spirit. And like there's a lot of frustration because a lot of people are experiencing this. A lot of people are feeling this and they're feeling like they have to be fucking isolated. A lot of them are in their fucking room, in a dark room, playing a video game or in a fucking basement. I do it because it's like I got to get away from people sometimes, but I love being around people. I did it because it brought enlightenment. It brought enlightenment. I had to be alone in order to become my higher self. I had to do the work. There were nights when, like, I was purging and my whole body was just like in massive, like, just almost jolting type thing. And my ancestors and my mother and that would come in, and it's like I could feel them, and they're like, Terry, you just got to spread your arms, just spread your arms and let it go. That's the part of purging. That's just let it go. And it's not always easy. So, sorry. For some reason, I can get live on my phone, but I can't get live on my computer. So I don't have big letters there right now. And um, see, I said in my channel, I'll make like you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll get pissed off. You'll get maybe some. I know someone told me that I had to stop watching some of your stuff because I get anxiety. Well, I told them you're getting anxiety because that's irritating the darkness. It's irritating the shadows within yourself that it's telling you, spirit's telling you, no, you're gonna fucking look at it. Like you gotta look at it if you want to move on in life and you don't want to stay stuck in the rat race or in that crap or in that hamster wheel or what have you, then that's the part where you really need to allow yourself to experience yourself as a whole, the oneness. Que se puede. La era no me puede como sacados. Escolher escolher. E a con Satan. All in like just like room. I said like I'm not being buried. I said I was being cremated, and I'm not having a headstone because I put in a tree in place of where my burial would go. I put a tree because the tree it represents life. you plant, it's like planting the seed and watching it grow. And it brings rebirth, growth. And I planted that in the fall of 2020. So it's part of that recognizing the grounding aspect because the tree is very grounding. You can actually go out in nature and stand in with the trees and just kind of stand there like kind of like this, with your hands kind of in this direction or what have you, because you're actually going to feel the vibration and then you can actually, it's almost like you can feel yourself just kind of root. And then you're standing there like a tree and it's like you're kind of swaying sort of like you're in the wind. right now there's a conversation going on and I'm kuriatai. Questa dai, chi tutti che quindi abbiamo con tu ya già essere yeah. Okay. Se tu le sono se un succo in cosa fare essere come ya ya delle tutto questa time tu le che sono Visa Instagram nag-react sa tayo nung iko yan actually sorry yung tuh kan yung equilibrium. This is live and it's real. They're just gonna have to tukututre is salat o hoisa así que ano coin the equilibrium so pupuya. You know, it's all very para umuya tayo. Escribe, tukutuya umuya tayo. Okay. You did? You will. You just story. It's good. It's great. Okay. Oh my God. It gets trippy and it's a really weird experience, but like people don't realize that it's energetic. So I just got, do you know what the conversation was about? My higher self knows what the conversation was about. That's why like that was like going on because I was kind of, I'm part of, like I'm connected. So you can explain it because you don't. It's very trippy. Okay. And like some may say I look like a fool or I look like I'm really out of line, you know? Oh well. I'm proud that I'm out to lunch because it's genuine nourishment. Trippy. Right there, that was a very ancient language. Um, Sometimes I get aromatic heat, but there's also different forms of the galactic federation in different ways, but not just the federation, but the whole galactic authority of the universe and others. It's like the right? Boy, the good thing. It's like I'm not afraid to face my truth. To face my truth. I'm not afraid to experience this. I'm not afraid to say what I'm experiencing. I'm not afraid to bring it forward because most of the people that don't like it are usually people who already know me. And that's usually because, well, I'm not the same person. The same as the people that know me aren't the same person today that they were yesterday, in that sense. They may say they are, but there's, even if it's something slightly different. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting it right up here. It's like, sitting, actually, something. Right now, it's a clearing and energy. It's helping it to move through because, like, with the eclipse and stuff, and the new moon and what have you, um, like I said, we're experiencing different sensations within our body, and a lot of it is like it feels like it's right up there, and sometimes it can feel like a pressure. Sometimes the pressure can feel like it's pushing in, and sometimes it can feel like it's trying to protrude out. So it's that part where it's like the electrical or magnetic field, and you're bringing it up, you're helping it to release. You can actually do this yourself. It's just more of feeling the energy between your hand and your head, and then just kind of connecting and just kind of just moving it around and yeah. And if you're moving it and it starts to feel like it's coming back a little bit, well, that's because you have a shift that you're trying to make within through through the line, through the chakra line. So you're making that connection and you're kind of whatever's drawing out, you're bringing it out. So sometimes it can get lodged. Somebody was going to say lodged like poop, but yeah, okay. I guess lodged like poop sometimes. But it's this year, it's like it's like trying to screw it like up to two. I guess that's how I can explain it. Like a valve. Release. Fíjate, I just felt that. Ah, yeah. Es que yo estoy, oh my God, estoy. Este, no, no, I don't. I don't. I'm here to break curses. I'm here to like help people get past like all of this stuff. So no, that's why I say like when people throw attacks at me and stuff like that, it's like no, like you know, like hurt yourself and just like know that I'm not going to send something back to you. The church, some churches on the other hand would say that it's wicked, but that's only because some of them figure that you got to go there in order to find God. But you know, spirits everywhere. So laying in the tub, your own spirit, sitting in this chair, like me being here, I'm a spirit, and I know that you're around kids. They all have stories to be told. They all have stuff to be resolved within spirit to spirit as I do here. There's a lot of people coming to that conclusion that they don't believe in the church anymore, and that's why I said that like the churches wonder why they have no people. That's precisely the reason because they're not open to the actual teachings that is there, but it's always skipped over because if people knew that or it's hidden away because those are the lost books. The book of Zohar, it's actually the mystical aspect of it. And if we're mystical, because everybody has mystical blessings, gifts. So that's like allowing yourself to use your own discernment because a lot of people are feeling very unwelcome in the church and they're realizing like, this ain't teaching us like it's not teaching about the stuff that it should be. A church was always a place of healing. Okay. If you look in older texts, not per se necessarily the biblical text, which I believe in some parts it's there, but these fancy buildings that we see that are said to be ancient civilizations or what have you, like these fancy buildings that they have now, the really like ancient looking ones, that's because those are the buildings, okay? And they were modified because the buildings, like if you look in the ancient world, okay, across the ocean, okay, you look at the churches, the stuff that it's made, okay, it's a very high energy source. And they used to go in there, like people would go in there, and that's where they would receive healing because it's like things of the earth, everything has a frequency. Like an electronic, it has this awful buzzing sound. Do you ever notice like you hear your lights or you hear your electrical outlets or stuff like that? You're hearing electricity, and it's not an even frequency. It's actually a disturbing frequency that actually keeps people from being able to sleep, keeps them very agitated, causes brain problems, causes cancer, causes health problems. But see, they don't say that to you. They say that I'm misleading or that's not a fact. But when you go from your own experiences, it is a fact because it's what you're experiencing from it. Right. And see, like the church is actually you. The church is the people. It's not the place. That's what the church is. It's we're all a church. We're all our own temple. And we're led to believe that we have to go to, like they say, pay your dues to be a member. What? When did you have to pay dues to be a member of God's family? They say, like, Very much so. Spontaneous healing. Right? The person is able to do it themselves even if they don't realize it. That's how you get it's having faith, bringing the power back to ourselves and having faith within ourselves. So, but with that being said, I'm going to get going because I've been on for 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 33 seconds. It's really wasn't keeping track, but I don't think people like someone coming in here this long. If you came into my channel, thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope that people got something out of it, whether they got pissed off at me or not. At least they got something. Okay, so um, if you get likes, what have you, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not here to find followers. I'm not here for gifts or money or what have you. I'm in here to help you see your own see your own secure. I'm going to substitute with some words because it can work for other male and female, which are actually okay. Because women can be street sweepers too. It's the usually. If a man is a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. They should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived a great street sweeper who did their job well. Basically. So, okay, with that being said, oh, nice to meet you too. With that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone who wants to, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be faithful, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self, be true to yourself, be true to others. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are or you have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you're more powerful and you have more strength than you can comprehend sometimes. Good night, love you all.